So in the class C amplifier, uh, this is the waveform which we are going to plot. So in the class C amplifier, transistor will be biased below the cutoff. Below the cutoff, it is not only on the cutoff, it is below the cutoff. So that means the operating point is lying below the cutoff. So that's why what we are going to do is we are going to use a biasing supply, extra biasing voltage. We are going to use VBB, extra voltage, the DC supply will be using at the input side. Along with that, it is also having, here we also consider the effect of V gamma or VR. It is nothing but the knee voltage. So knee voltage or VBE, the base emitter voltage. So whenever the input becomes greater than the sum of VBB plus V gamma, then only you are going to get the output. You can see here, this is the level, this is the DC level which is obtained by the sum of the base supply, extra what I told, base supply you are going to connect at the input side, and along with that, this is the VBE value. VBE value we represent in this way also, V gamma or VR. Okay, so whenever the input crosses this, see here at this point the input is crossing that, only that part of the input will be available at the output side. So and during remaining time, entire thing will be under 0. So for rest of the cycle, the output will be 0, whether it might be voltage or the current, the waveform remains the same. So only whenever the input crosses the sum of VBB and V gamma, the output is obtained. So for this, we can tell that the current flows, the output current flows for less than 180 degree. So it is going to have a huge loss in class C amplifier, because first thing is it is below the cutoff, and only when input is greater than this, then only it is going to pass the output. So the output current flows only for less than 180 degree cycle of the input. So then why you need this VBB? See, we need this VBB because we need to, since the operating point is in cutoff region, we need to bias the transistor to make the transistor to operate in forward bias condition. So for that purpose, we add this extra supply at the input side. Then the next question is what you can do with this small voltage. That's why we are going to use the tuned circuits. We will discuss about this tuned circuits in the later part. So tuned circuit means it will be using L and C components. So when this input is given to L and C components, it is going to generate a complete sinusoidal wave. How it is going to do that we will discuss in detail when we study the class C amplifier. Okay, so this is what you need to remember for class C power amplifier. And the last one is class D amplifier. So in the class D amplifier, here, as I told in the beginning of the chapter, it's a digital power amplifier. So here amplifier is entirely due to the pulse signal. So it is due to the pulse signal. So pulse signal means, it comes under digital category, digital signal categories. So it will be having a small duty cycle. So what do you mean by a duty cycle?
So the ratio of the working period to the entire time, sir.
Yes, good. So because of that, from the duty cycle, we can observe that the the pulses whatever we are giving, it will be having on time for short duration and off time for a longer duration. So we'll be having like this. So like this, the pulses will be given. So this is the on time, this is the off time. But in order to overcome this problem, and in order to prolong the on time, because on time is the state where you will be getting the output maximum. During off time, we'll be not getting any output. That's why what we do is we are going to use a special type of circuit called sample and hold circuit. Sample and hold circuit. So now, what is the uh, importance of this sample and hold circuit? Let us see. See, the sample and hold circuit, what it is going to do is, if I take this signal, it is going to sample, it is going to consider this portion of the input. It is going to sample, it is going to take this as a sample, and it is going to hold that sample. See, only for this duration we are having on time. So we have sampled it and we are holding it for longer duration. So whatever duration you want, you can extend by using sample and hold circuit. That's why the name, sample it and hold. Sample and hold circuit. So you can increase the on time by using sample and hold circuit to whatever the desired time you want. So by doing this, you can increase the on time compared to off time. So to whatever duration you want the output current to flow, you can extend this on time. So that is the advantage of class D amplifier. So it is possible, because of this sample and hold circuit, it is possible to allow the device current to flow for the entire cycle. For the entire cycle, you can make the output to flow. So that's why we tell the efficiency of class D amplifier is very high compared to all the classes whatever we have studied till now. I mean the classifications. So class D amplifier is having highest efficiency. So we tell it is more than 90% efficiency it is having, and it is widely used amplifier. So this is about the classifications. Now let us begin with the first type of amplifier, that is class A amplifier. In class A amplifier, we are having two types. So that one, first one is the series fed class A amplifier. Second one is transformer coupled class A amplifier. These are the two things we are having. So they have their own advantage and they have their own disadvantage. And also, even though we tell the class A amplifier has an, as we have seen, for the class A amplifier, the output flows for the entire cycle of the input, but still the efficiency of class A amplifier is very, very less compared to any of the other techniques. So class A amplifier is very rarely used. Okay, let us see. First thing about series fed class A amplifier. So series fed class A amplifier. So in the series fed class A amplifier, the circuit is very simple. So we are going to use the transistor in CE configuration, and it is almost our fixed biasing circuit, whatever we have studied, the same thing. So VCC, and here we'll have capacitor, and we give the input here, and this is grounded, and whatever the transistor we are using is power transistor. So this is RC, this is RB. This is coupling capacitor, this is the supply. It is called series fed class A amplifier because here RC, whatever we used to connect now, in the place of RC, they directly connect RL. The load is directly connected in the place of RC. So load itself will act as the collector resistance. I repeat it again. The collector resistance is replaced by the load resistance, or the load resistance itself act as a collector resistance. You don't have any separate collector resistance, load resistance like that. So you might be remembering that we used to connect one more load resistance here, and we are telling RL, this is the output what we are getting. But here in this series fed class A amplifier, in the place of RC, RL is replaced. So directly you are going to connect your device in this position, in this place. Okay, that's why the name series fed class A amplifier. So as you know, CE transistor amplifies the supply power to a amplifier, is going to amplify the supply power or supply voltage, and it is going to deliver across the RL. Since the quiescent collector current flows through the load resistance, so obviously the quiescent collector current has to flow through RC. In the place of RC, you are having RL. So quiescent collector current will be flowing through RL now because RC and RL are same. So this circuit is called series fed class A transistor amplifier. So this is the series fed class A amplifier which we are having. This can be modified further, where we call it as using two power supply. So you can use two power supply, and you can even connect the series fed class A amplifier. So for series fed class A amplifier, but the same RC will be the RL will be the RC, that remains the same, but only the circuit might become simple, or if you want to connect it in a different way, we can do that. The capacitor, we are having a supply which is other end is connected to the ground. We are having coupling capacitor, and here to the base RV is connected, and we connect one more voltage supply here which is called VBB, and this is RB. This is our RC is equal to RL. This is plus VCC again. So transistors used are capable of handling this transistors, whatever we are using. Since they are power transistors, they are not our normal BJT transistors. Even though these are also BJT transistors, they are power transistors. So whenever you are considering power transistors, they are capable of handling higher power. But they are not capable of giving much voltage gain. That is the problem here. Even though the circuit looks simple and you are having an advantage that in the place of RC you are directly connecting RL, so you are trying to reduce the cost of the circuit, and you are trying to make the circuit less in a simplest form, whatever is possible. But still, the gain produced by this kind of amplifiers is very less. So now the next part is we have to do mathematical analysis for this. Considering the DC conditions and AC conditions, we have to do analysis and we have to find efficiency. The question that can be asked here is explain series fed class A amplifier and derive the necessary equations for efficiency of series fed class A amplifier. Or also they can directly give you explain series fed class A amplifier and show that the efficiency of series fed class A amplifier is 25%. This is how they'll be asking the question. Okay. For the analysis, we are going to consider the single power supply. Now, first condition is DC condition. So for the DC condition, what kind of biasing is used here? What kind of biasing is used here? So what is the biasing which we have used in the circuit?
So fixed bias.
Yes, fixed bias. You should be attentive. You are all, I don't know what you guys will be doing. As at the beginning only I told, here we are using a fixed bias circuit. Again, I'm asking the same question. You are not opening up your mouth. So if this kind of attitude is there, then I have to reduce my efforts. So I'm telling a lot of things, going to the basics. But if you don't respond, then I have to just cover up syllabus, whatever is necessary. That's it. See, for the DC condition, we will be using our fixed bias, the equations, whatever we have done. How you are going to find IB for this circuit? How you are going to find IB for this circuit? Sanjana.
Sir, we apply
Yes, sir.
KVL to the base circuit, sir.
Yeah, tell me how you are going to find IB for
Sir,
this circuit.
the loop near the ground, we apply KVL to that, sir. And then the loop
Which loop?
near the ground, sir, near the ground point.
Near the ground means here only you'll apply.
No,
Tell me that which is that loop which you are going to apply.
second loop, sir.
Tell me which are the components you are having.
BS and capacitor, sir.
Sir, we can't use that
No.
loop because there's a AC source there, sir. We have to use other loop.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
sir.
why. Yes, that's why I'm seeing how many of you are attentive. Nivedita. Nivedita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me which is that loop which we are going to apply to find IB.
The input loop, sir.
Input loop means tell me which is that path.
Sir, it is RC and this one.
RC is input loop. What you are listening? Nikita, are you there?
Sir, I have to apply for this ground and then RB and here BCC.
BCC.
VCC.
VCC. Yeah, Nikita, tell me which is that loop which you are going to consider to find IB?
So VCC, RB, RC and VCB.
RC.
Yes, sir.
I think you guys have not studied what we have done. This is the loop which you are going to consider. So this is the loop. VCC, IRB, VBE. This is the loop. See, from tomorrow onwards, everyone has to study and come. Otherwise, no attendance will be given. And also, the variation in your marks in the internals will be seen strictly. Because even after telling everything, even after discussing it, even after giving that study material, also you are telling nonsense answers, means it is very difficult. I need to keep on monitoring you. So now this loop is being considered. So VCC minus current through this is IB. IB RB minus VBE is equal to 0. So on rearranging this, we get IB is equal to VCC minus, VCC minus VBE by RB. So how do you find IC from IB?
Beta times IC is equal to beta times IB.
Beta times IB. So now I want to find out this voltage. This voltage I need to find. How do you find this voltage?
KVL to outer loop, sir.
Yeah. Now KVL to outer loop. On applying KVL to the outer loop, we get VCC minus IC into RL minus VCE is equal to 0. So rearrange it, you get VCE is equal to VCC minus IC into RL. So this IC and this VCE gives us the Q point. So they are the parameters from which we are going to get the Q points. IC, VCE. So now the next part is we need to find we need to find efficiency. So to find the efficiency, we need to consider the power considerations. Power considerations is the first step. So here, when no AC signal is applied, see, DC condition means what? What do you mean by DC condition?
No AC signal, sir.
There is no AC signal. That is the condition. So when AC signal is absent, whatever the analysis you are going to do, that is the DC analysis. That condition is known as DC condition. During that DC condition, whatever the power you are getting, that is your DC power. So to get that DC power, we have the PDC, DC power. So what is the basic formula for the power? V into I, VI. Okay. Now, so what is the voltage we consider here? It is VCC we consider, and what is the current we consider? IC we are going to consider. Okay, this is with respect to the DC power. Now next is AC power. That is, once you are going to give the AC supply, what will happen? So during that time, PAC, it indicates AC power. For this, we are having again the formula V into I. So now for AC power, can you consider VCC here?
No, sir.
You cannot consider VCC. You can consider VCE, because that is the voltage which is finally delivered across the output side. So VCE and it is IC. And tell me, both VCE and IC, whatever we have written, how do you represent this components in AC?
Lowercase letters.
Hmm?
Small b, sir, and small I.
That is one kind of representation. There is one more parameter which you have already studied in your basic electronics and all. See, for average DC power, we call PDC. Similarly, for AC, we have something. We'll not call it as average AC, but it is having some other word. We frequently use that.
RMS.
Yes, very good. RMS. So VCE, RMS, ICE, RMS. We are going to consider. Now, VCE, RMS and ICE, RMS, can you tell me what is the formula for VRMS with respect to peak voltage?
Peak voltage by root 2.
Yes, Vm by root 2. So in the place of VCE, RMS, we write Vm by root 2. Next, for IC, same way, we are having Im by root 2. So now, if you combine this, it becomes Vm Im by 2. Right? Now, if I want one of the term, that means I just want Vm to exist. What I'll be doing? I'll be substituting for Im. Or if I want Im to exist in the equation, I'll substitute the some equation for Vm such that we'll be having Im. So in order to do like that, so we have two possibilities, right? We can substitute Im is equal to Vm by RL, or we can substitute Vm is equal to Im into RL. So both possibilities we'll check in. So Vm square by 2 RL. So this is obtained when you are going to substitute Im is equal to Vm by RL. Suppose if you are going to substitute Vm is equal to Im into RL, you'll be getting, what you'll be getting? Im square into RL divided by 2. So these are the two possible cases we are having. Now, so for the next we'll consider the VI characteristics.
So here the VM will be the VM of the AC source, no sir?
Yeah, Vm of the AC source. See, whatever you are getting, this is your Vm,
VM,
peak voltage.
yes.
So VCE, this we have already discussed in the classification. So let us take again, this is the Q point we are having, and let us assume that initially it will be within this. So this is going to indicate the current value, and since this will be small ic, so here it will be the voltage. What do you call this point as? This point as?
So minimum voltage.
Minimum.
Vmax.
It is Vmax.
Maximum.
See, it is towards the maximum value. This is towards the minimum value. That is minimum. This is I mean, because it is towards the minimum value. What is the minimum value? 0. It is towards the maximum value.
Yes.
So Now, if I want to get the maximum efficiency, so first let us consider the efficiency equation PAC by PDC into 100. So efficiency here, it is not the same equations what we are having for rectifier. In rectifier, may I know what is the equation we have used for efficiency? Anybody? What is the efficiency of rectifier formula?
Same formula.
Same formula.
So DC by AC it will be,
PDC by
because
PAC.
DC is the output in rectifier.
Yes, it is PDC by PAC because rectifier converts AC to DC. So AC becomes the input power, DC becomes the output power. But here at the output side, we are having AC. At the input side in the sense before the load resistance. See, whatever is happening, it happens across the load resistance, that is at the collector side. So at the collector side, we are giving DC, it gets converted to AC and it is going to amplify. So that's why the output is AC and the input is DC, which has been considered, because based upon the position of the operating point, which is fixed by the DC, your output AC signal is going to depend. That's why we take DC as the input, AC as the output. It doesn't mean that you are giving DC at the supply. It is not like that. So you are giving DC at the transistor level. It is going to shift the operating point. Because of the shifting the operating point, your output AC signal is going to vary. That is going to, it is going to amplify. So that is the meaning here. So that's why PAC by PDC. Don't get confused. In rectifier, it is PDC by PAC. Here it is PAC by PDC. It is just reverse of it. Next. So if I want to get a maximum voltage, so let us take heading as maximum theoretical efficiency. So if I want a maximum voltage, what can happen? When do you get maximum voltage? When this signal reaches
Maximum.
this maximum and this signal reaches this maximum and this signal reaches this level and this signal reaches this level, right? So when this signal, that means this has to come like this, it has to become like this. Even this one also should reach the peak value and it also should reach the zero reference line. Once this happens, then only you are able to get maximum efficiency, that is maximum output. Now, to get the maximum theoretical efficiency, let us modify the obtained equation, whatever we have already obtained. So we'll modify it just for the AC. So PAC is equal to, we are having VM into IM by 2. So if you take this, what do you call this as this entire reading from this point to this point?
Peak to peak.
Peak to peak.
Peak to peak voltage.
Okay. Now, if you are taking this signal, this entire signal, the second one I'm talking about, after increasing the level, that is on considering the maximum swing, we call it as a maximum swing. So when you consider this maximum swing, I want to find just the peak value. How you are going to do? I want to find out just peak value Vm, Im, but now the signal has reached. Now signal has reached, or we have considered that signal has is having maximum output swing. Swing means maximum limit what it can reach. So now the voltage across this point is what? What do you call this voltage at this point? Here, Vmax. What do you call this voltage according to the waveform?
Vmax, sir.
This one, even this also you call it as Vmax.
So as Vmin.
Vmin. If you divide it by 2, can you get peak voltage?
Yes, sir.
So it is just like you are having signal like this. Yes, right? This is 0, this is at the maximum. And now I am asking you to find this value. What you will do? You take this value, divide it by 2. So you will get peak value. All of you understood how I written this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly for Im, how can you write an equation? For Im?
So Imax
Sir,
minus
Imax
Imin.
minus Imin by 2.
Good. So same way we can write Imax minus Imin by 2. So now our PAC becomes Imax minus Imin into, sorry, Vmax minus Vmin by 2 into Imax minus Imin by 2. From the figure, what is the value of Vmax? From this figure, usually what is this point will be equal to what according to VI characteristics?
So VC saturation, sir.
VC saturation is what value for VC saturation? Saturation voltage of VC is what? What is the maximum VC value you can have? VCC, no? VCC
Yes,
is the
sir.
maximum voltage
Yes, sir.
what you can have. Coming to this, how do you find this point? See, this is a point of a load line point. So how do you find that load line point? You have already done this, right?
So we
By
substitute
able-
VCC equals to 0 and VC
Yeah.
equals to 0 in the equation which we got.
Yes, correct. So based upon that, what is the equation finally we obtain? It is VCC by RL.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So Vmax will be equal to VCC and Imax will be equal to VCC by RL. Then what about Vmin? What will be the value of Vmin? It is 0.
0, sir.
0,
For
sir.
Imin, it is
0.
also
0.
Now substitute this values in the above equation. So when you substitute this value in the above equation, you'll be getting VCC minus 0 into VCC by RL minus 0 divided by 2. Yeah, along with that, you have 2 into 2. Totally it becomes 8.
8, sir.
Okay, VCC minus 0, VCC by RL minus 0 divided by 8. Here only you have to write now half we were missing. Vm Im by 2. This 2 was missing in this equation. Write that. 1 by 2. This is the equation for Vm. This is the equation for Im. So the earlier 2 whatever we are having 1 by 2 that will be retained. So it is VCC minus 0 into VCC by RL minus 0 whole divided by 8. So this can be written as VCC square by 8RL.
8RL.
So now we have got an equation for AC. So once you have got equation for AC, let us substitute it in the efficiency equation. So maximum efficiency we are going to find. So in the same way, since we have taken PAC max, same way we have to take PDC max. So we are having equation VCC into IC. In the same way, now we have to substitute for IC for maximum value. What is the maximum value for IC? See, initially, whatever IC we have written in the previous equation at the beginning of this derivation, that was ICQ, quiescent current. That's what we tell always. DC, the voltages and current, whatever you are getting, that is the quiescent voltage and the current. So it was quiescent current. But now you are considering IC to be maximum. So IC, if you observe, in the transfer characteristics curve, I'm not writing entire thing. So if this is IC saturation, your ICQ will be here, right? So can you give me a small relationship between ICQ and IC saturation by seeing this?
Approximately half, sir.
Half, sir.
So ICQ is equal to half the IC saturation. So this is what we are going to consider. How? Because the operating point will be in the center, right? So corresponding quiescent collector current will be here. So saturation means here it will be here. Okay. Now on substitution for IC saturation, what is the formula we are having for IC saturation? VCC by RL. That is how we find IC saturation, right? By applying KVL to the outermost loop and rearranging all those things we are doing. So VCC by
Yes, sir.
RL. So it is half into VCC RL. So on substituting this here, what you will get? VCC into half into VCC by RL. That is equal to VCC square by 2RL. So PD max. So let us take this as equation 1, this as 2, and now we'll substitute in efficiency. So efficiency is equal to PAC by PDC into 100. So for PAC we are having VCC square by 8RL, and for PDC we are having VCC square by 2RL. RL will get cancelled, VCC square will get cancelled, and this will be equal to 2 4s. So 1 by 4 it is 0.25. If you write it in percentage, it will be 25%. Okay, so efficiency whatever we have obtained is 25%. See, this efficiency is the theoretical efficiency. It is not practical efficiency. Practically, we are having only 10% to 18%. This is a 18% is the maximum value you can get, maximum efficiency you can get. So it indicates that it can only amplify 18%. So its efficiency is only 18%. Theoretical it is 25%. So we can see there is a huge loss in this kind of amplifier. So that's why this has not been used. Next, why do we have this kind of losses? We have this kind of losses because of the generation of harmonics. Harmonics means the unwanted signals, or the frequency of a signal which is not having the fundamental the signals which are not the fundamental, which are not having the fundamental frequency, is known as harmonics. are the unwanted signals which are present in the output, which were not present in the input, is known as harmonics. I repeat it again. The signals which are present at the output, which were not present at the input, is known as harmonics. So at the input side, you have only one signal. At the output side, you are having 10 signals. So that 9 extra signals, whatever you are getting, no, you'll be getting overlapping like this. You'll be getting like this, and we call there is a distortion. That distortion is harmonics. So that kind of extra signals, what kind of the extra signals, whatever you will be getting, those signals are known as harmonics. So that we will be for that we have a derivation, one of important derivation. It is 99% the last that derivation, because we need to show why we get harmonics by mathematically proving it. So this is about the derivation of series fed class A amplifier. We in the next class we discuss about the power dissipation of this, followed by that merits and demerits, and we discuss about the harmonics, where we need to discuss about second harmonics and higher order harmonics, and next we go for other amplifier. So we'll stop it here today.